Forget size. These three positions feel 10x deeper: men's sexual health. Let's be honest with each other. Most bedroom advice leaves you more confused than confident. You hear about all kinds of techniques, but deep down there's still that secret worry. Is my size enough for this position? Or how do I make sure I'm doing this right? This doubt is the biggest barrier keeping you from trying new things. But this is where we change that mindset. The truth is, an explosive lovemaking session doesn't depend on the size you have, but entirely on angle and control. Today, instead of vague theories, I'll show you exactly how to use your body to create touch points that size alone simply cannot achieve. We'll focus on real sensations instead of empty tricks. We'll go through three positions guaranteed to work for all men, and you absolutely must watch until position number 3. It's a bit unconventional and requires courage, but it's the secret weapon that helps you reach the deepest points in her emotions. If you want to become a lover who delivers an unforgettable, explosive experience every time you make love, this video is exactly for you. Position 1, woman on top. All right, guys. Close the door and let's have a real heart-to-heart for a moment. Let's jump straight into the first position, a classic position that I bet many of you have a love-hate relationship with. That's when she's on top. Why do I say hate? Because I've heard so many guys confide, Emma, I feel so useless just lying there. Some even feel they've lost their masculinity. You're lying on your back, staring at the ceiling, and it feels like you've been stripped of control. You're not the one thrusting. You're not the one deciding the rhythm. You feel passive, like a body pillow or a piece of wood, rather than a passionate lover. And the biggest worry? It's the awkwardness. Your hands and feet don't know where to go to avoid feeling useless. You're afraid that if you lie still, she'll get bored, but if you move randomly, you'll mess up her rhythm. This very thought of I'm being dominated kills your excitement right in its tracks. But listen, hear me out on this. If because of that ego or awkwardness you skip or perform this position half-heartedly, you're making an extremely huge mistake. You're missing the only opportunity to see your woman in her wildest state. This is the position women love most for one simple biological reason. They know with 100% certainty they'll reach the finish line. When you refuse to cooperate or lie there looking bored, you're not just killing her mood, you're also taking away her chance to shine, to show off her body's full beauty before your eyes. Just imagine she's trying to create pleasure, wanting to show her allure, but then she sees you lying there limp or trying to regain control clumsily. That creates a terrible disconnect. You lose confidence, she loses orgasm. Both lose in this game. So what's the solution? We need to change the game right now. Forget the thought that being on bottom is passive. In reality, being on bottom is a form of supreme power if you know how to do it. Step 1, the stable platform mindset. When she's on top, your job isn't to do everything, but to support everything. Think of yourself as a stable platform. All you need to do is maintain steady hardness. As long as you're hard, you've completed 50% of the work. Let her adjust herself. She knows exactly which angle will rub against her G-spot, which rhythm will stimulate her clitoris. Don't try to thrust your hips up when she's lowering down. Let her be the conductor. Step 2, hand placement technique, secret weapon. This is where we eliminate the feeling of useless hands and feet. Don't lie there with your hands dangling by your sides like a corpse. Participate in her movement with leverage. I want you to try this. Instead of gripping her hips, slide your hands down and grip her ankles or place them lightly on her knees. Why? When you hold at this point, you create a solid anchor point so she can push her hips harder without getting tired. You become part of that movement. You're subtly supporting her thrust force. This action says, I'm here, I'm supporting you. Feel free to let loose. It transforms you from a passive spectator into an invaluable assistant. Step 3, the power of eye contact. And here's the most important psychological trick to remain the boss, even while lying underneath. Don't close your eyes to enjoy. Open your eyes and look straight at her. Use your eyes to communicate. Look at her breasts. Look at the ecstatic expression on her face. And most importantly, look deep into her eyes. An admiring, hungry, and focused gaze will make her feel like she's the center of the universe, but also feel a bit intimidated by your masculine observation. You don't need to work hard to be manly. That quiet observation, that confident appreciation is the pinnacle of control. You're showing her, I'm enjoying your beauty and I'm in control of my arousal. The most seductive thing you can do is patience. Initially, give her complete freedom. Don't rush. Let her find her own rhythm, rotate her hips, bounce on her own. But listen, when you hear her breathing become rapid, the sound signals start appearing more clearly. When you sense her body is reacting most powerfully, that's the green light. Right then, move your hands from her knees to her hips, grip them tightly, and start helping her speed up the pace. At this point, you sync with her to bring you both to the finish line together. That's not passivity, gentlemen. That's the art of waiting and exploding at the right moment. Try this hand placement and eye contact technique tonight. You'll see this position isn't as boring as you thought. Position 2, the chair. Breaking the rut with the chair position. All right, we're done with the warm-up on the bed. Now it's time I want you to do something bolder. Step away from that soft bed. Let's admit this to each other. The bed is a great place to sleep, but sometimes it's the enemy of ecstasy. Why? Because we're too familiar with it. And physically, that soft spring mattress is silently working against you. The biggest problem when having sex on the bed, whether traditional or doggy style, is the horizontal plane. When she's lying on the mattress, her legs, no matter how wide they spread, are still limited by the bed's surface. Gravity doesn't help you at all right now. Her pelvis is in a closed state, and this creates an invisible barrier. Have you ever felt like you're trying to penetrate deeper, wanting to create a more powerful thrust, but it feels like you're being blocked, slipping, or simply can't go any further? You're huffing and puffing, sweating profusely, but she still only feels normal. That's not your fault, nor is it due to your size. That's the fault of the dead angle on the horizontal plane. If you keep getting stuck in these rut positions on the bed, you'll fall into the trap of boredom. Worse is the feeling of not quite there yet. Both crave a deeper connection, a more complete filling sensation, but the body mechanics on the bed don't allow it. Imagine the frustration when you want to embrace her completely, want to become one, but your limbs keep getting tangled, or worse, your knees are exhausted from supporting your body weight on the sinking mattress, turning lovemaking into torture exercise instead of enjoyment. You want her to moan in pleasure, but what you get is just sighs from fatigue. We need to break this limitation. We need a leverage tool. And this is where the chair appears like a savior. Don't underestimate it. This isn't just changing location. This is completely changing the physics of the game. Step 1, setting up the throne, safety first. First, let's talk about technique. Please, for God's sake, choose a sturdy chair. Don't use a wheeled office swivel chair unless you want both of you to roll onto the floor and end up in the hospital. A small but extremely important detail that few people tell you: chair height. Your feet must touch the ground firmly. Both your feet must be placed flat on the floor. Why? Because your legs are the pillars, the anchors holding the entire weight of this lovemaking. If you have to tiptoe, you'll lose strength very quickly. Sit really firmly, spread your thighs wide, turn yourself into a solid throne for her. Step 2, face-to-face position, the peak of emotion. Now, about the seating direction. I suggest you perform this position face-to-face. She'll sit on your lap, facing you. Why face-to-face? Because we men often forget that women need emotional connection to achieve physical orgasm. In this position, you can look deep into her eyes, you can kiss her passionately, and you can whisper the naughtiest words in her ear. Two bodies pressed tightly together, chest touching chest, heartbeat merging with heartbeat. That's an intimacy that the back-facing position can never achieve. Step 3, hacking. Gravity and sensory description. This is the most important part. Listen carefully because you won't need to look at any drawings to understand this. Close your eyes and imagine. When she sits on the bed, her legs stretch horizontally. But when sitting on the chair, her legs dangle down on both sides of the chair, hanging without touching the ground. What happens then? Gravity will pull her thighs down. This action automatically opens her pelvis to the maximum. The sensation will be like this. You'll feel her entire body weight pressing down, creating a firm pressure down onto your base. There's no gap at all. You'll feel the absolute fullness. Because her legs have no support point, she's forced to cling tightly to your back or wrap her legs around your waist to keep balance. That clinging tight action inadvertently tightens the vaginal muscles, creating a pressure, a tightness you'll never find when lying on the bed. Each time you push lightly from below up, combined with gravity pulling her down, it creates maximum depth. She'll feel you touching the deepest points in her body. At this angle, the contact will directly impact the internal sensitive spot, places you normally have difficulty reaching. Step 4, the explosion. In this position, you don't need to thrust like a sewing machine. Use the friction force. Hold her waist tightly, use your legs as pillars, and perform slow but firm rhythmic thrusts. The combination of body weight, the pelvis's open angle, and the face-to-face embrace will create surging waves of pleasure. Go ahead and try it. Find a sturdy chair, place your feet on the floor, and let gravity work for you. You'll find size no longer matters because the depth at this point is unmatched. Position 3, the elevated squat. All right, guys, if the first two positions were the warm-up and basic exercises, then this is the graduation exam. This is where we clearly distinguish between a guy who just makes love by instinct and a true man who knows how to control the game. Let's talk about a reality few dare to admit. Have you ever been in the traditional position, missionary? You're very aroused, you want to go deeper, want to touch the bottom of emotions, but then you feel like you've hit an invisible wall. No matter how hard you try to push, or no matter how impressive your size is, you still feel there's a physical barrier blocking you. She's still lying there, still enjoying, but you know, and she knows too, that she hasn't truly exploded yet. That feeling is like you're scratching the exact itchy spot, but through a thick layer of clothing. It's okay, but it's not quite there. It lacks a bit of depth, lacks a bit of direct pressure to make her scream. And the biggest haunting fear? That's when you realize your size has limits. You worry that you're not long enough to touch her deepest point. That insecurity creeps into your head, diminishing your passion and turning lovemaking into a bland homework assignment. To break through that wall, you know you need to do something different. But fear rushes in. It looks so awkward. Will this hurt her? Or what if I'm clumsy and totally embarrass myself? Most men choose the safe solution. Return to the old position. And what's the result? A boring loop. She might be satisfied, but she'll never have a memorable experience. You miss the chance to become her unforgettable lover just because you're afraid of the challenge. Position number 3 that I'm about to tell you is the cure for all of that. It's a bit weird, I admit. It requires boldness. But trust me, the price of hesitation is too high. Don't let fear keep you forever as just an average lover. Welcome to the elevated squat position. This is the ultimate weapon to optimize angle, turning the normal guy into a giant in terms of sensation. Step 1, simple visualization, the folding chair technique. Don't be confused by the name squat. Imagine it this way for easier understanding. Think about how you fold a folding chair. She lies on her back on the bed. Instead of letting her legs stretch out or bend slightly as usual, I want you to push her legs up as high as possible. Fold her knees, press her thighs close to her chest. Her body now looks like a chair being folded up neatly. In this state, her pelvis is no longer lying flat. It's rolled up, creating a perfect curve to receive you. Step 2, positioning the angle, knees to shoulders. This is the fatal mistake that 90% of men make. They just push the legs up to the sky. Wrong! For this position to unleash its magic effect, your push direction must be specific. Press her knees toward her 2 shoulders. When you hold the knees and push toward the shoulders, you're performing the rocking the pelvis motion. You'll see her hip area lift slightly off the bed surface. That tiny elevated angle is the golden angle. It turns the vaginal canal into a straight path, removing all obstacles, allowing you to penetrate deeply and completely with maximum ease. Step 3. Ergonomic tip, use weight, don't use arm strength. I know what you're thinking, holding legs like that will kill my arms. Right, if you're an amateur using arm muscles. An experienced person will do this. When you kneel between her legs and press her knees up, lean your body forward. Use your entire upper body weight to press down on your hands and transfer that force down to her knees. Turn your body into a lock. Use weight to keep her legs fixed in that position. This way, your arms will never get tired, you can maintain this position as long as you want, and the pressure from your body weight will make the position extremely stable. Step 4, Psychological warfare, confidence is key. Listen, this is the most important part. When you start folding her legs like this, her initial reaction will be, what are you doing? It's tight, too uncomfortable. She'll have a tendency to push back. If you hesitate, pull your hands back and ask, are you okay? You lose. Game over. This is when you need the confidence of a leader. Don't ask for permission. Reassure her. Look into her eyes, hold tight, smile, and say, I know, I'm holding you here. Relax now. Trust me, it's going to feel so good. Your firmness will make her feel safe to relax her body, and the moment she relaxes, you penetrate. Step 5. The divine G-spot touch. Why do we struggle like this? Because the reward is priceless. At this folding chair angle, with the pelvis elevated, each of your thrusts won't slip anywhere. It will directly impact the legendary G-spot right above. You don't need to go fast, just slow, deep, and firm. The combination of her maximum openness and your direct penetration will create waves of pleasure that make her arch her back. She'll realize that the initial discomfort was just a stepping stone to a climax she's never experienced. Go ahead and try it. Fold the chair, press knees toward shoulders, use your body to press down and lead her. You'll see you're the king of this game. Before we end, I want you guys to forget my expert title for a moment. Let me talk to you simply as a woman. I know as men, you carry a lot of pressure on your shoulders every time you step into bed. Pressure to be really strong, really long-lasting, and most haunting is to be really big. I've seen the fleeting worry in the eyes of so many wonderful men. You try to tense up, sweating to perform while your mind is stressed, wondering, is this enough? Will she be disappointed? But you know what? That truly makes our women's hearts feel sad. The truth that few girls dare to say straight to your face is, we don't bring measuring tape to bed, we bring emotions. When you're insecure, we sense it immediately, and it inadvertently creates an invisible wall between two people. I remember the first time a man suggested trying the chair position with me. Honestly, he wasn't the guy with the biggest size I'd ever known. But the moment he looked straight into my eyes, confidently lifted me up and said, I want to feel you deeper. That was the most seductive moment. Not because the physical size changed, but because his confidence and desire filled every gap. The 3 positions I just shared, those are secrets that we women often whisper to each other during afternoon tea. We want you guys to know how to use angles. We want you to confidently lead. So tonight, shed that psychological burden. Use these techniques not to hide flaws, but to connect with us. When a man believes he has enough courage, then in a woman's eyes, he is the whole world. So we've gone through 3 strategies, 3 different battlefields, from the subtle empowerment in the woman on top position to the power of gravity with the chair, and finally the boldly courageous elevated squat position. You see, what's the common thread of all 3 positions? They prove a truth I want you to engrave in your heart. Size is just a number, but technique and angle are the ultimate weapons. You don't need to change your body to become a great lover, you just need to change how you use it. When you master the angle, you master the game. Your mission tonight is very simple. Don't just watch this video and leave it there. Choose one position, just one, and experiment with it right away. Pay attention to her reaction. Listen to which angle makes her breathing most rapid. That's the most honest answer. And if this video has opened up strategies you've never heard anywhere, if it helped you shed the psychological burden about size, then do one thing right now. Click that subscribe button and now leave a comment below. Which position will you try first? The chair or the bold fold? I'll read each of your comments. Thank you for watching. Stay strong and see you again.